What's a deal breaker no matter how attractive the girl or boy is? Avoiding a problem by ignoring it, and when confronted with said problem refuses to have a mature conversation about it. Not just stupid, but helplessness. Someone who might not know something but lacks the motivation to find out. You may be very good looking, but if you're so used to everyone figuring out answers for you that you're helpless and lazy, goodbye. The type of people that just throw their hands up and say it's too hard the moment things get more than trivial. Ugh. As flattering as it might seem in the beginning, I find it really off-putting when a guy doesn't want to maintain any of his independence or passions. Seriously, go out with your friends, listen to the music you like, keep up the hobbies you enjoy, etc. We have plenty of time to share experiences together, but we don't need to live the same life 24/7. It's like my grandma used to say, for better or for worse, but not for lunch. Inability to take accountability for their own mistakes, inability to take initiative and reciprocate, arrogance, self-entitlement, inflated ego. We all struggle with these things, but for some people there isn't a single moment where they are willing to be introspective and realize that, hey, maybe sometimes crap is your fault. Not that it is about who is at fault, but in order to move forward in a relationship you can't expect the other person to make all the changes. Being generally negative. I went on a date with a girl once to a bar she went to all the time. She proceeded to point out the people she considered her enemies. I did not go on any more dates with her. You just made a new enemy. Women who talk a little too much crap about their friends. Also, people who can't take a joke. I genuinely don't mind being the butt of your jokes, but you should be willing to take the heat too. Nothing worse than the fricks who love to dish it out but can't take it back. Guy in work is like this. Just makes me wind him up even more. Lack of communication. I don't need you to be in constant contact with me, but if you are only going to say something once a week to figure out when we are going to meet up, I am probably going to forget about you very quickly. Playing hard to get. Frick that it's the current year, I don't have time for this crap. Frick that it's the current year. Nice. Obsolescence avoided. If they are constantly competing with you and can't let you be good at something without being better themselves, in their view. Had a GF for too long who did this. Thankfully it's over now. Who couldn't let me have my moments of joy when I did something good in the video games we played and always talked it down and said how she did something else better so she was the superior. What makes it worse is that I am a humble person normally, so the moments I say out loud are important for me. When I do it, those getting destroyed anyways feels super bad and made me sad too often. My girlfriend and I often laugh about how competitive we are, but I'll laugh more. Willful ignorance. I don't believe I'm the smartest cookie in the room, but I try to educate myself. I always want to learn more about the world. Someone without a similar passion for learning would not have my respect. I once dated a guy who didn't know what offense was, and it was a huge turn off. I also dated a guy who hated when I tried to split the bill. Equals, he bought the movie tickets, so I thought it would be fair if I paid for the coffee. He didn't like that, so I knew it wouldn't work out. Trying to control my free time. When I come from work and finish studying for a bit, I'm gonna want to play video games or something. I need to unwind. You're more than welcome to join me, but if we can only do what you want to do, then it's a deal breaker. Bad hygiene. Seriously, it's not that hard to brush your teeth and use deodorant. I just left a guy who would act like a dong whenever I asked him to brush his disgusting teeth before kissing me. I'm still really bitter, lol. Being mean or rude to my friends, family or other people. I don't care if you're all nice and kind to me, but if you treat other people around you and I so rudely, it's a no-go. Poor sense of humor. If I can't drop outrageous puns with you or you can't appreciate senseless YouTube videos, it's just not going to work. Not considering my feelings. If I'm in a relationship with someone and they don't care about how I feel, whether it's happy, sad, content, etc., then why am I even with them? It's important to acknowledge your partner's happiness, help them with their sadness, understand their discomfort. Inclination. History of cheating, in all forms. I've been down that road twice before, and no matter how much you think maybe our relationship will be different, It's never going to be. You'll be just another notch in their belt. My soon-to-be ex-husband and his new GF met on Ashley Madison, both looking to cheat on their SOS. I was incredulous that anyone would want to start a relationship with someone who was actively trying to cheat. They are both insane, but still. No matter how attractive a guy is aesthetically, the moment he starts acting like a rude, obnoxious, entitled, ignorant, generally unpleasanter, I'm immediately repulsed. Once I realize someone's a dong, they become ugly to me, no matter what their appearance. Could have written this myself. And on the flip side, if he shows signs of being sensitive, kind, caring, thoughtful, he automatically becomes so much more attractive. I always have issues with this question because, like, how attractive are we talking here? The average pretty person, yet I have a lot of deal breakers, but if some mythical dong whisperer appears and gives me a brain-sapping erection faster than I can think while hitting the checklist for all my fetishes, she could probably call my granny a C and throw a puppy into a wood chipper and I'd still toss her salad. You've confirmed many suspicions here. Upvote for honesty. Constantly on their phone, social media. You're not that big of a deal. No one really cares. All your selfies look the same. Super religious. Scrolling through Tinder and I see God comes first. I love Jesus, automatically skip them. Doesn't matter what they look like. Drugs. I'm not talking alcohol or weed, but if you got a daily habit with those, then that can be a problem as well. I've hung out with people who would do coke in front of me or would sneak off to do something harder, and it makes me really uncomfortable. Extremely religious. Doesn't matter the religion. I'm agnostic and the other party will more than likely have a problem with me not having some sort of faith. I'm open to any and all religions, but in a relationship it's a hard thing to overcome unless the other person is respectful to your beliefs. As a fairly religious person, I understand. It's a big part of my life, and if you don't share that, then that's something that we can't ever bond over, and possibly cause problems. I find the opposite to be true. 2. It's a big deal either way. People who chew with their mouth open. Also guys who like to titty frick. Don't tell your girlfriend that her breasts aren't big enough. My ex spent our whole 4-month relationship trying to get me to buy an overpriced tea program to get my B cup to a C cup. He legit told me he wanted my boobs to be as big as my sister's or my best friend. My best friend wears an E. He wanted me to talk her into a threesome. She's a lesbian. He didn't get that. Not wanting kids. I want kids and I don't want to try to change somebody into wanting kids. I want to be with someone who wants to start a family with me. I really appreciate you not wanting to force people into changing. I don't want kids and could never date someone who did. Don't want to waste anyone's times. Being a bad parent. I didn't see this one yet, but as a single parent I tend to date other single parents a lot. Most of the time kids aren't brought into the picture, we just started dating. I don't want to meet your kids, I don't want you to meet mine. But, since our own kids are often brought up as a topic, if it becomes clear that she's an irresponsible parent, I want nothing to do with her. Not being able to admit they're wrong, and by extension, not being able to stay on track during an argument. Let's be productive in our arguing instead of bringing up unrelated petty stuff or insults. Then again, my girlfriend and I are just those kinds of people. I know some folks who love having the big blowout arguments that end up with the guy throwing a low blow and making the girl cry. Then they make up and have a honeymoon period. They say it makes the relationship interesting. I'd rather not, thanks. Honestly, I hate clinginess. As a 21-year-old male, sometimes I just want to chill out, do me and play games or hang with my dog. Doesn't mean I don't like you or am with other girls. Seriously a turn off. A friend of mine, 21 male too, had a thing going with a girl he liked a lot and it was going the right direction, but he couldn't leave her alone and texted her so much he felt suffocated and kind of blew the whole thing off. So same things counts for some women. Being a fan of insane clown posse. People like what they like, but that's the only one that makes me instantly go no fricking way. I have a German Shepherd, a cat, and a tarantula. If a woman was an animal hater or just not all that fond of pets, deal breaker. If I'm on a date and they say anything along the lines of if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, yeah we're done here. Haha, they're like, I need to assert dominance with a badly timed Facebook quote I recently saw. For me it's bad hygiene. You can be the sexiest girl in the world, but if you smell, it's an instant turn off. Not partially sweat or dirty body smell, but bad breath and lower body smells. The worst for me is what I call crap sweat, which is when a girl hasn't cleaned the inside of her butt cheeks and you get the pungent stench of a mixture between sweat and crap. Girls with big asses are partially prone to this and they are often unaware. I had to break up with a girl I loved for this reason, despite having the awkward and embarrassing conversation about her terrible hygiene. She was deeply embarrassed and bathed often after that, but soon reverted to her usual self. It's not nice when you have to hold your breath for the whole duration of sex. I guess someone just don't really care. In my opinion, if you are sexually active, you should be in the shower bath daily. I've had the same exact experience. Nothing worse than hitting it from behind and smelling the fecal matter she missed between her butt crack. I suggest using a wet wipe to avoid these type of situations. Body odor. I took this beautiful girl on a date to a bowling alley, and after a few games we left to go eat. In the car, I smelled this foul BO and kept surreptitiously checking to see if it was me. It was definitely not. After I realized it was her, I couldn't end the date fast enough. Gotta give a second chance here, Imo. Maybe she forgot deodorant or was nervous and especially sweaty. Being totally dismissive towards mental illnesses and the implications of them. They have completely defined my whole existence, and as soon as someone I may happen to be seeing laughs off depression or psychosis, then I know we will never connect on the level that I need in a partner. My pet hate is when someone doesn't recognize that there are invisible mental illnesses and disabilities. Lying, cheating, stealing, or not being loyal, talking down to me, or treating me as less than you. It's okay to lift heavy things for me. I understand men are by nature stronger than women. It's not okay to expect me to do all of the house cleaning or cooking just because I am a woman. Dangly bits do not absolve you of chores around the house. Woman bits don't absolve me of yard work or learning to fix some basic plumbing or car issues. Inability to carry on a mature conversation, where we can theorize and discuss issues without getting personally offended by any topic that doesn't agree with our personal worldview. As Aristotle said, it is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. On the same thread, closed-mindedness. I don't care if you fully agree with literally every opinion I hold. If you're not willing to consider alternatives, then you are not able to learn new things and you will not be very interesting to be around. Also, fairness and a kind spirit. If you'd rather be mean to someone than be nice to someone, I doubt that we'll get along very well. Lying casually to others, treating those less powerful than themselves poorly. Service staff and animals are usually good indicators. Smoking, not judgmental. I smoked for several years, but gross. If you're very sensitive, if you're not able to cope with a recurring joke or anything similar, or just act too serious, then you're definitely a turn off. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.